describe, give a definition of AI?
The very essence of the term artificial intelligence is developing techniques so that the machines have a way of behaving.
I'm coding the design part too.
All right.
I'm doing everything.
Multifunctional, she's multifunctional.
Yeah.
What is your background then?
How we can use AI to make their work easier.
And you started at B12 4 years ago, and you started with what job?
How much data it would take? Probably terabytes and terabytes and terabytes of text.
We buy some shares.
Some, how much? How many?
That's a very good question.
Do you want to become an entrepreneur one day?
It's a fixed salary with a team bonus regarding the performance of the company.
What is your turnover, your earnings, your growth per year? Oh, yes. This was excellent. Thank you very much, Julie. We are now located at B12 Consulting Company, and this is a video we're going to do in English this time, just for all our subscribers who want to discover what is artificial intelligence. This is the channel, YouTube channel, Entreprendre, Vivre, or in English, Entrepreneurship in Life. We're going to discover what is this concept of artificial intelligence. Stuff is going to be discovered today with the owners of the company, which are somewhere here in the office. We're going to find them right away. Follow me. Hello guys, Geoffroy, nice to meet you. Michel, hey, hi. Nice to meet you. Thanks for having us here. Hi. And Vincent, hi, nice to meet you. Well, I think the first point of the video would be great to understand what the company does here. What do you sell as a service, as product? I think it would be nice if each one of you could just describe one part of the product that you are selling. Maybe we can start with Geoffroy?
Yes, sure. One of the departments of B12 Consulting is developing a custom solution, IT solution for different companies.
You are developing IT solutions for the clients?
Yes, we are.
General way. Michel, can you please describe your part of the job in B12?
So I'm more in charge of what you call data science internally. You know, for general public, maybe it's better known as artificial intelligence. So the goal is to develop artificial intelligence solutions for other companies.
Okay, great, excellent. Thank you, Michel. And Vincent?
Yeah, I'm working on software development projects, and sometimes there's data science aspect. So it's a nice, I would say there is a nice interplay between the two departments at B12, between custom software development and data science, AI, yes.
I propose to plunge more deeper into each of these subjects later on during the interview. Meanwhile, it's possible to go to see your employees, the offices, the premises that you have here, which is just great. Hello, can we bother you for 10 minutes?
Yes, of course.
Hi, what is your name?
Laetitia.
Laetitia, hello, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So you work for B12?
Exactly.
How long have you been working for B12?
I'm working since 2 years and a half. I'm data scientist.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm working with new technologies like artificial intelligence, deep learning, machine learning, and working on the data for clients and so on.
All right. There are studies, you can learn AI.
Yeah, of course.
This is what you did or not?
Not really. I have a master in civil engineering, and we did a little bit of AI, but not so much. But that's something that you can learn during your work.
Is it the project of 1 month, 1 year, 10 years?
It depends also of the project. Currently I'm working for a project for 3 months, but it can be extended.
And okay, can you show us what you do? You are doing development? You are doing what?
No, so for now what I'm doing, I'm trying to put some machine learning code in a cloud environment that is chosen by the client. So it's a little bit difficult to show you what I'm doing because I'm working with data and I'm trying to process them not locally on my computer but on a separate service.
Can you describe, give a definition of AI in 2 sentences?
For example, the auto-completion when you're writing an email,
okay.
It can be AI because we will train an algorithm to find and to learn how to complete your sentence with the context that you are giving when you are.
Excellent. This is just the most exciting definition of AI. Whenever the autocomplete, whenever you are typing something on Google, well, basically he's proposing the rest of the sentence to appear in the field of search, and this is AI in fact. How does it work then?
You will try to build a model by giving him some data. So you will, in the case of the auto-completion, you will give a lot of sentences in order to build the model, and that the model will be able to find some correlations between all the sentences that you are giving, and so that he can learn that when you start the sentence with a specific word, the most probability to end is the one that he will propose.
Exactly. How many lines do you think the AI database of the auto-completion has? I mean, we're talking about 1,000 lines, 1 million lines.
How much data it will take to train the Google algorithm to do autocomplete? That's probably terabytes and terabytes and terabytes of text.
Michel, Geoffroy, Vincent, guys, thanks a lot for taking the time. What is the creation date of the company? How many employees do you have?
More than 10 years now, and we are around 30 for the moment, employees at B12.
What is your turnover, your earnings, your growth per year?
A bit more than 2 million. We have a margin which is varying from year to year, but it's varying from 10 to 20% depending on the year. And in terms of growth, our average CAGR is CAGR for the last 10 years. It's in the 15% range. Yeah, 15
every year.
20%. Yeah. Okay.
Maybe you can show us something on the Mac.
The goal of the company is to reduce waste of big hypermarket, and so they are collecting the food that is expiring on the same day, and they are trying to sell them with a price that is reduced, half the
original price.
Yeah, exactly. And so the idea that we had was, in order to increase the speed of putting all the food online on their website, to take a picture of the food and to detect which food is it. And so we investigate some optical recognition algorithm. So the goal is to detect the text on an image and to try to extract it. So we have 2 examples here. If we look at the fungi text, we have the result of the OCR tool that is giving the right text. And the same here, but we have some artifacts and some noise around the right.
Okay. And what is the purpose of that doing? I mean, OCR technology exists already like 15 years. You did not redo the technology.
I did not retrain or build a new model, but the idea is to build a custom algorithm in order to use already known and already pre-trained model and to adapt it to the case that we want to solve. The idea was to capture as much as possible information on the food in order to put this product online and to create a full description of the product.
All right. And this project lasted how much time?
It was a project of like 2 weeks.
Yeah, but not all time, so it's a few days of work.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was not very costly for the client?
No, not at all.
How much was it? What was the price for the client?
It was a price of about 3,000 to 4,000 euros, but partially funded by the Wallonian government. So they have a subsidy program called Startia, which is especially aiming at helping companies understanding if AI can help them.
So this is a lead for the greater project?
Yes, that's indeed.
Great, thank you for coming. It's really interesting to understand as simply as possible what AI stands for.
So AI first stands for artificial intelligence.
Yes.
This, I hope it is clear for everybody. The very essence of the term artificial intelligence is developing some techniques so that the machines have a way of behaving which is more similar to human in terms of intelligence.
All right. Can you have an example?
So an example of applying artificial intelligence technique is to develop a computer vision system, so a system which is able to look at images to detect default on a certain type of material. So for example, we have a client
who is producing metals. Okay, they are producing pieces of metals at a very high throughput, and their goal is essentially to detect defects on those pieces of metals very quickly and very efficiently, so that they can quickly take the decision of reworking the piece, of removing the piece from the production line automatically. So that's a typical application of artificial intelligence. That's something that a human could do by looking at the images, but no human would be able to do it automatically at such a throughput or such a high rate. But what's also interesting is to see how those softwares are developed, because actually computer vision systems are not new. I mean, people have been developing computer vision softwares for a very long time. What is new is that those are training, they are actually learning from the data. So instead of explaining them exactly what a default is and how to detect it, what we are going to do is to provide them with a huge amount of information of different types of defects.
Huge. How many? Huge. What does it mean?
It's about 1,000 images.
Okay.
Of defects.
Of defects, and every time you will tell to the machine, this is a defect, so this is not good.
So that's what is called supervised learning.
Okay, supervised learning. And then at some point you will give it that to the machine, and they will learn that each image, this image of the metal is with a default, and then whenever they will see this default, they will just cut this part of the metal.
Exactly.
And the learning part is whenever you will input the 1,000 image into the machine.
Yes.
This is what's called machine learning.
Exactly.
Okay. 1,000. This is the minimum, I guess. Usually you have to give to the machine much more images.
It depends. Yeah. For this particular problem, the type of defects are not extremely varied. Now, if you would like, for example, a machine to detect all the types of human faces, you probably won't have enough with 1,000, because that would not be a representative sample of all the possible human faces.
Exactly.
But in this case, since it's a relatively restricted case, we can go ahead with 1,000 images of defect.
Okay. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. What about you?
Great, excellent. How long have you been working for B12?
About 1 month. Actually, I'm quite new in the company.
Okay. Can you please describe us what do you do here right now?
What are we doing? We are building a platform to meet his business needs, and his business needs are to have a platform where people from different kinds of roles can log and interact between each other and share information.
Excellent. It's a business club.
It's yeah, exactly. It's essentially a hub where some companies are looking for services and products, and some others are providing those, and you have to make the match between the two. So there is part of it which is classical software development, even though it's for a specific need, and the other part of it is data intelligence, or data science, or how to make the connection in an automated.
Okay, good. What is your background?
I have been studying civil engineering with a specialization in applied mathematics and data science as well.
Excellent. The screen below, I mean, this is, what does it mean? I mean, this is the coding, okay, and this, what's that?
Yeah, it's the console. It's where we can, that is where we code, and this is where we set the computer to run the code, to run the application, basically. Okay.
What else? I like your offices. How does it work?
We can both work when we are sit, but also...
it can go up.
It can go up.
Is it useful?
Yes, very useful.
Is it much more expensive than normal office, normal table?
It's worth it.
It's worth it. But
it's worth it.
How much?
It's a bit, I think it's 500 euros.
I use it, for example, about 2 hours a day to have different position, because when you are sit all day, it's not good for the body.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Do you want to become an entrepreneur one day?
No, I don't think it's my path of career. Okay, people, there are some people who like that, but I'm not that kind of guy.
Okay.
Maybe I would like to grow in the company at B12. That's more what I want.
Okay, thank you very much. How much did this IT software that you have developed for your client cost?
I think the range, a few tens of thousands to a few hundred thousands. What we can say is that there are other projects like, for example, NLP projects, or projects where we are trying to extract information. NLP stands for natural language processing. This is a project where you try to extract information automatically from the text. And we have done NLP projects which are in production for about 100,000 euros. Okay, that's a typical range for a project in production. if you want just to go for the prototype or if you want to test the performance of the algorithm, we are more in the range of 10,000 maybe to 30 or 40,000. That's more the range for a prototype. For example, we are doing a lot of Entreprendre AI projects. So that's the Entreprendre IA. That's a subsidy of the Walloon region for developing a first proof of concept. And the subsidy is for projects of about 40,000 euros. So 40,000 euros is a good, average price for a prototype, for a proof of concept. And then when we want to move to production, we are more in the range of 100, 200,000 euros, depending on the level of integration.
You were talking all about the pilot period, which can cost between 10,000, few 10,000. For a subscriber of the channel Entrepreneurship in Life, what can be a discount for a pilot project?
We can have a first discussion that's anyway free, right? First discussion.
And
then we say, okay, well, we have to understand better your business.
Sure.
It usually takes something like half a day to a day. Okay, for 2 people, it can cost up to about 1,000 euros. Usually, that's what we would charge in general. But 4 people coming
from Entrepreneurship
in Life, that would be 500 instead of 1,000.
Okay, so you get 500 discount for the pre-project. How it's called? The
workshop. For the
workshop to understand if your data can be applied to the AI and if there is a result that can be achieved with the data that you have.
By the way, there are other subsidies and other methods to get a discount on your first project if needed, and we can also discuss that during the first meeting.
Okay, great. This is nice. This is just to create the first link to the entrepreneurs.
Yes.
And to call him here and to present. Yeah, sure. Let's do that. Likes, subscribing, and bells, and please share this video. Camille. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Excellent. For how long have you been working at B12?
For almost 4 years.
And you started with what job?
So my job was to be an office manager. So I was responsible for everything that is related to administration, the office, also HR, recruitment, and communication. But it's the same as today, actually. But we have
it's a lot of stuff, in fact.
So
administration, finance, recruitment, office admin. What task takes you the most of your time of the day?
Now it will be recruitment, definitely.
Okay.
So we will try to recruit the people for this year.
Can you give us some life hacks of your recruitment process? Like something they are doing differently from the others?
We are quite open to different backgrounds. So most of them have backgrounds in science or technologies, but we also recruited different backgrounds. So that's the first thing.
What is your channel of recruitment?
For juniors, we recruit them on job fairs, so we participate around 10 or 12 job fairs per year, so it takes a lot of time.
How much does it cost a position at a job fair?
It depends on which job fair. It goes between 200 and sometimes 1,000 euros.
Okay. But when you participate in job fairs, this is done usually at the universities.
Yeah.
So you recruit juniors.
Yeah.
And if you want somebody with a little bit of experience.
So we have other strategies. For the moment, we are planning to organize some recruitment events. So we are inviting people to come here for a coding challenge first, and we also plan to organize meetups to attract and talk more about our expertise and what they could do at our company.
I would like to talk about AI market in euros and in Belgium and in Europe. Do you know how big is the market for AI?
It's a very difficult question because you have to define what you call AI market, because as we have said, AI, if it's just the core algorithm, is one thing, but then you have to embed this core algorithm into a product, into a solution. You have plenty of additional issues to go into production, so it really depends what you call AI. But usually people agree to say that worldwide the market is in the range between 50 and 100 billions worldwide, okay? That the European share of this is somewhere between 10 and 20 billions, okay? And in Belgium, we are probably around, half a billion, I would say, between 300 and 500 million.
Okay. What is your strategy within 5 years?
Our ambition is to make something like time 5 in the coming 10 years.
Do you think it's a fast growth pace?
We think it's a reasonable one to maintain the quality. We would like to become number 1 in reputation.
Before going to the next question, I would like to know your background and where do you come from before becoming owners of B12.
Yes, so the backgrounds, the academic background is similar, where we all did a master in physics, and then in fact we met at the start of our PhD in physics in Louvain-la-Neuve. This is why we met. We worked in the same office.
Right. Senior engineer is what, 5 years experience, 10 years experience, 15?
We can even go below that. Yeah, we would say here a senior would be 4 to 5 years, but we put 2 years on a job announcement because we want someone with a previous experience that's already good for us.
You also have to know that in the technologies that we are using, there is no such a thing as a person with 10 years of experience because this technology didn't exist 10 years ago.
Okay, when you are an entrepreneur, it's nothing obvious, and you're always thinking what would be the best way to achieve it, and sometimes you are taking decision, and after 1 year time of having the decision made, you're like, no, this is not the good one, let's change it. Sometimes it's too late, but sometimes you have to adapt it. But every time is always something you try, you see if it works, great, you go on, it doesn't work, you change. So even in IT industry, it's like that. There is no golden solutions which works for everybody, and you have to invent something new for each situation. What is the second most time-consuming part?
I would say human resources. Make sure that everyone here is feeling good while being at work. What
do you do for the office for B12 so everybody feels good?
Well,
massage. We've seen the massage.
The massage first.
So Julie, the one who made the massage, great. So if you want to improve the efficiency or the happiness level of your employees, call Julie. It's
important for them to learn, so we organize a lot of learning. We also follow their career path for the evaluations, and in terms of really well-being, some cool activities. I mean, we organize after works, team buildings. For example, we could go to Barcelona.
All together?
All together.
With families?
No, not with families.
Just for a week?
Us. No, for a few days, yeah. So we could visit the city. We were in a villa with a pool.
Everything paid by the company?
Yeah.
Camille, thank you very much for participating. I'm coming back to my first question, Geoffroy, regarding you. What is your entrepreneurial trigger, and how did you start the career as a managing partner at B12?
So clearly, before starting B12, I was consultant in an IT company, a banking IT company. I spent several years there.
What is the name of this company?
It was Clarity Waters at the time, but afterward it has become Sopra, banking software. So I worked for several years for them, and then we started B12. And clearly it was something very strange for me because I was not prepared to start a career as an entrepreneur. As
you already had the first client, you knew that you will be able to be paid.
It will be mitigated.
To be paid. No, the first salaries were essentially half the previous salary, so it was still an obvious risk in terms of
sure, of course. Because after this client you have to find the second one, the third one, etc.
Exactly. Sure. Because there was only one project, it was not underpaid, but it was definitely not well paid compared to the amount of work we put into it, because we wanted really to, to build something. So we had also to learn a lot of things ourselves.
Sure. The life hack for those who are starting: don't, as soon as you have a client, okay, accept kind of the first price that he's proposing to you. The leitmotif here is to get experience, to get reputation on the market, and then the second client will be much more profitable for you. Yeah. But for the first one is always the most difficult one.
We were profitable from day one, from a strictly financial point of view or accounting point of view, but we were underpaying us largely for many years. So in total, I mean, you could say that we only became really truly profitable a few years ago. But to me the big move, I don't know for you guys, but to me the big move was hiring the first employee. Actually much bigger than creating the company. Because creating a company, you can see it as a shell company for freelancers. I mean, there is no real risk in the sense that, okay, if we don't have a contract, well, we don't pay ourselves, and it's a risk, it's a personal risk, but you are not taking a risk for another person.
How do you become project manager?
So what we did, in fact, we developed the software.
Sales process, how does it work?
I think a good project manager, you have to be able to understand the details, but also to be able to see the project as a whole.
You know the cost, what would be the margin?